Zamba and Jackal are going to take a backseat to this first winner semifinal set, best of 5 between Syrup and Dabuz.
Watching Syrup and Dabuz right now is going to be another one of those set counts you see with Syrup versus top players when he first starting out in the scene, where he played Ness and he was still a very dominant player, but I mean, honestly, just kind of got matchup checked by a lot of the top players, like Rosa Ness, not great. Tweak was doing well into the Ness. Zamba, of course, still has a very positive record over him. Specifically, Syrup and Dabuz. Dabuz is currently up in the set count, 11-8. The last time they played, though, was at Gomble X, which I mean, it was almost a year ago this point, which is crazy, by the way, where Syrup ended up taking it 3-1. And that was, I think, the first time they played where Syrup playing primarily Ness. So definitely Dabuz, you can't go into this on the comfort of, oh yeah, I beat him in the past. It's definitely, this is 2025. This is Syrup on Rutgers. This is on one today, getting off of the extremely close set against WebJP. Definitely, we need to see no holds barred. We need to see Dabuz wake up and do it today, because this is definitely not going to be an easy set regardless of how it goes.
Yeah, by bracket count and bracket view, you could kind of see this as like, oh, Syrup like going game 5 in a super tight matchup, regardless of how good WebJP is, who is phenomenal. It was a Syrup Sheik, Steve Sheik is a very, very solid matchup for Steve, and it can be seen as Syrup maybe isn't quite performing up to snuff, maybe is a little bit lacking, a little bit like on edge here coming into the Scarlet Classic X. Meanwhile, Dabuz barely dropping a game throughout his entire run through winner side, 3-0ing Tweak, looking very, very solid right now. But as you're saying, well, that doesn't really truly account for the history that these two have and just how good one person can be once they feel like they need to turn it up a notch. And Syrup might absolutely be feeling like now that they're in top 8, it's time to kick it up a notch.
The thing I'm interested in is, like, obviously we've given a proper introduction for Syrup, how well he's been doing. I'm interested to see, like, Dabuz's pseudo second win in competitive. Like, he's been talking a lot online. He's playing Street Fighter, opting for like playing some rivals on the side, talking about his commentary arc. But like, he's here and he's playing some pretty freaking good Smash Bros today. Yeah. He's guaranteed 5th. 3-0 on Tweak, definitely nothing to scoff. Which, by the way, that was their 20th set play. They were before that, so they were 10-10 in sets. Dabuz is now positive on Tweak. GOAT, a retired player, by the way. Honorable mention on Lumi rank. Not even in the top 150.
Not ranked Dabuz.
So how do you feel about Dabuz on the second win?
I think a lot of the time when you take a break from something that you've spent so much time into and get other perspectives, that can affect how you play the original game or the original task at hand.
Yeah.
Regardless, as we get into a button check here between these two players, one of the best things we all know about Dabuz is his ability to dissect situations, positions, matchups, and in general gameplay to a really, really high degree. So if he's going to try and take influence from other fighting games, whether it be Rivals of Aether with his Orcane or with Street Fighter and his Lily, he gets a little bit of the slippery character in a platform fighter, a heavy movement character that doesn't really fit any of the 3 characters that he plays in Smash Ultimate. And then you get the grappler side of things, the T-Hawk Lily type of vibe where you're poking a lot with a big SPD to back things up. You're looking at 2 completely different archetypes that he usually plays in his main game. So now you bring a whole bunch of fresh perspectives and fresh ideas that can hopefully carry him over the top.
Not only do you have the fresh perspective outside of Smash, you also have a fresh perspective in Smash too. Recently, we're talking about Dabuz winning the last roundtable 4, ended up winning that over Phantom. Ended up dropping a set 2 Phantom there against Phantom Steve. Phantom still ended up getting seconds. Dabuz had to win 2 sets in a row in Grand Finals to win that event over them. We're seeing Dabuz is like one of those players that, like, he's had so many different views on the Steve match. Like, you remember his set versus Akola at Super Smash Con 23, my bad. 2023. And I mean, like, the tons of other Steve players he played in the past. You're opting for like the Rosalina. But we see opening there. He still has the Olimar and the Min Min in the back pocket. I beat Phantom with this character. Do I want to go this against Syrup? Obviously, they aren't the same thing. Syrup, I mean, like, clearly it's an unfair comparison. It's like a top 10 player in the world right now. But it's still like these guys are practicing together all the time. They're in the same crew. There's definitely some kind of confidence to be taken from that. Some kind of leeway, like, you know what? This is a decent thing to go off of right now. decent idea to take going into the set. And with all that in mind, who the freak is Dabuz going to play right now? Who is he going to play the entire set? Does he switch off? Who knows?
I don't know.
Does he 3-0? Does he win the event without only dropping a game to Guy?
That would be extreme.
That'd be the funniest ending.
That would be the craziest timeline. I see it is locking in the Min. Dabuz coming in, you know, my favorite unranked, unsponsored player from New York.
Dude, I wasn't going to mention it. They mentioned it. They said it. Bad person.
Oh, it's my fault. There's a ton of mystery when it comes to Dabuz.
If you're watching, get this guy out of here.
Let's see how it goes. Small battlefields into the first game, and instantly, Syrup does not want to give Dabuz any amount of consistent space, because if you do so, something like this happens.
Dabuz honestly carrying that ledge very well with the Ram so far. Going to catch the drop down from ledge as well, bouncing off of that crafting table. Like you mentioned, making some good space early on. So we're kind of struggling a bit to get those materials up early on as Dabuz is covering that space, but still going to find a decent bit of chunk of 50% right there, making a 2-bit wall and then jumping over it to zigzag through the arms. It's going to be a big thing this matchup, utilizing Min's linearity and utilizing Steve's creativity to play around that and take advantage of her 2D plane she plays on.
Yeah, approaching from those 45-degree angles is something that Dabuz really needs to focus on covering and focus on how to keep Syrup away from some of Steve's more obvious but very strong approach options, whether it be minecart high or just a straight-up roll in. Things can get very dangerous very quickly if you let Steve get from range 2 to range 0. Right? Oh, that was a really, really big push off. It allows Steve to get just enough time to mine to have a diamond for next stock, and that diamond is going to be necessary because now you can instantly get to this crafting. But no, you can't. Nice push off from Dabuz.
The preemptive run down the push off the crafting of Dabuz is playing this matchup to a tree right now. Going to find that anti-air, going to find another one with the up smash. Now looking to pressure those iron walls, going to be easier said than done. Even with those double F tilts, actually, going to find that diamond in the back behind those walls, get some good pressure here, getting back into this position against Dabuz. Here again, the Ramran doing a great job of catching Syrup, jumping out of the minecart there. Now it's just finding that stock, gonna find it there, dropping it with the back here, and finding as many materials as he possibly can right now. Because against dirt walls, Min is going to make slight work of these walls.
Yeah, you're only really placing the blocks in order to make Dabuz commit to using one of these arms, and just to, at the very least, gain time so you can find a different means of approach. There's a couple times now that Syrup has shown the we're just going to hold up till there and let Dabuz fall right into it. I suppose that works out, but Syrup is still kind of establishing the positions that he wants to be in, which first and foremost are always going to be, if Syrup has the chance to swing with a tilt or an aerial, he's going to want to put himself there. And he does it again, always being on the forward foot of any of these options. No pickaxe here. Might not need it. That's 75% and climbing.
Oh, he was looking for it. I knew he wanted it. Syrup does that all the time. He's so toxic. This guy's a toxic player.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Reflecting the minecart, but it only gets the soft hit.
And I love how actually Syrup has co-opted Dabuz's game plan of opting for these anti-airs in general, catching Dabuz going off the ledge, and forcing him in such an awkward position of trying to force advantage state early on as Min. And it's easier than considering, again, the way she has to maneuver at these awkward angles at mid-range, where Steve can kind of just like throw out a minecart and then jump in and then play his own game and then literally force you into a corner. You're going in timeout, look at the wall for 5 minutes and think about what you did.
Yo, Syrup is playing with some unreal discipline. Oh. And we see it pay off right there. There was a sequence in almost to the end of that game where Syrup basically was just mining in Dabuz's face with only one block as a barricade, and just knowing that Dabuz was trying to focus on keeping himself safe and secure in center stage rather than committing to any of the arm smashes.
Yeah.
It's always just arm tilt, jump away, arm tilt, jump away. And if you're only worried about seeing the arm tilts, then you never have to worry about Dragon Laser, and you can play a little bit closer or not relinquish that space. So Dabuz, upon landing, commits to an arm smash to try and change up his approach options and change up his control options. And that's when Syrup strikes, knowing that Min, when doing her smashes, was unable to move. It was so much of a dividend that Dabuz felt so behind in the Yomis that we're swapping over to the Alf.
Unironically, he's going to be having the opposite issue now, where he's saying you're able to opt for those F smashes given the pressure he's been putting on with the min F tilts. Now, for Olimar, going to be opting for a lot more of those smash attacks, but now given you have a lot less of that range to play with, you're going to be trying to pressure those walls, and Steve at ledge here, just for those Pikmin tosses. Now Syrup can try to force Dabuz to play more of the close range game, and when you get over aggressive, you try to jump over the walls, and you find one wrong option one time, something like that. If that was like any other pickaxe, I think the jab would have sent farther and would have found a stock right there. But yeah, Syrup is on the prowl for something a little bit ridiculous here.
Yeah, you're trading out a lot of different advantages that you were talking about. The way to scrap and the ability to scrap in general is a whole lot higher. That was so cheeky. Syrup might be toxic.
That's what I'm saying. Drop the storyline. Syrup, we need to ban him. Back to the drawing board. I mean,
yeah, Dabuz is just having so much of a harder time dealing with these larger wall setups now, like forced to get up close and personal with them in order to use like a forward air or a back air. But in turn, you gain a better presence in the mid range. Instead of saying mid to long range, you get to play range 1 at a really, really prominent level. By range 1, for all my non-Tekken players in the chat, that is 1 or 2 character lengths away. That's what I mean by like character range, range 1, 2.
I didn't know that. That's a good thing that I'll never play Tekken, but like I'll keep it in mind. Actually, I might. Who knows? Anyways,
good game. Maybe not right now, but it's a good game.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Whoa! Okay, off the iron
bounce.
block, no untechable all the way through and unable to survive. But it's still 2 stocks apiece, and Dabuz still holding that really, really disciplined mid range.
Dabuz actually opting for the exact same ledge plan he had when he was on Min of trying to catch Syrup going for an aggressive jump. Syrup loves going for those reversals at ledge. You can find so much either of just the basic nil ladder combo, or just go for something like you saw the bounce off the wall with the jab into the back, or some Steve nonsense. Dabuz waiting for that, and like, okay, I'm just gonna sit on the ground, either go for a purple Pikmin back air, or I got you with an up smash, or even the down smash pressuring your shield there behind that crafting table. Dabuz is catching Syrup exactly where he lives. You're lacking those materials, getting in there and throwing out those Pikmin, keeping him in the corner.
This is a big opportunity to try and take this stock first. You have double purples online here, and there's no pickaxe on the side of Syrup, so the ability to gain materials is next to none. Diamond is ready for the next stock, but there's no minecarts as well. Yet Dabuz is determined to keep himself in center stage and always let Syrup make the first move, and it pays off there in order to take the stock
and a
first.
white. Oh my god, what year is it, dog?
This is the god lineup.
That's what I'm saying. Dabuz sitting here with the perfect lineup. Syrup with the diamond. They're almost evenly matched right now. The get-up attack actually almost low profiling the up tilt. Almost. Steve. Oh.
Okay, I freaked out because the hitbox extension on both of those purples was kind of insane, almost making back air able to hit ledge, which would be gross.
Dabuz now playing a little bit too forward right now, getting caught. The down B, oh my god!
Whistled right through that anvil, and again, Syrup at no materials is forced to try and get right into Alf's face in order to make something happen here. We're seeing dash attacks, we're seeing up airs, any sort of scramble hitboxes, but Dabuz is keeping very controlled with a couple of rolls, yet the back air just a little overzealous. Trying to challenge Steve Bear is never in an opportunity where you want to be, and only 24%. Dabuz still focused on trying to hold center, but the damage output can snowball so quickly. We're seeing the jabs, and there's the extensions that Syrup wants, but looking for a reset, and instead just chasing down with these tilts.
80% here on the part of Dabuz, getting caught with a high recovery and getting sniped out of the air with that back air. Syrup again, even through all of that, the game plan largely does not change. Sticking to your laurels of, I know the way Dabuz plays. I know how he's going to be playing these the end of these stocks, getting his stock confirmations on me. I know when we get towards the end of the game, I know he likes to jump and reposition to get around the Steve Knots at the ledge, like most people would. So as long as I stay confident of my game plan of getting my materials slowly, getting at least something on the board, and then taking advantage when they have their back turned. When the opportunity arises, I go for something like that, and it's like, not only is it the perfect opportunity to, of course, win the game, it's so demoralizing. I just did all that work. Oh my god, I just outplayed you to here to Timbuktu. And I just got back aired again. And now we're on Rosalina.
Yeah, we're trying the third character out of 3 for game number 3, the winner side game. Perhaps for Dabuz, if he's able to take the W here or not. This, again, offers a different idea on the same type of position that Dabuz wants to be confident in. and a different idea for Syrup to try and play around this, because now all of a sudden all of these block formations are going to be equally important, and your combo game has to be a little bit more muted because of the ever looming threat that is Luma.
The one downside here is going to be obviously the size of Rosalina's hurt box, given that she can play at this mid-range and not actually put out more of the aggression, but actually just deal with the nonsense you're throwing at her, whether it's the minecart or the anvil getting absorbed there. Syrup definitely has to play more aware of the defensive game he's playing. It has to be, like you said, more on top of that combo game, looking to get back here to the ledge, falling out of that forward air, looking to make it back. A huge downer coming out from Dabuz. Great, the aggression working out perfectly here in this game 3.
Yeah, that was really nice situational awareness there from Dabuz. Saw that the block was placed, but Syrup didn't land on it. Committed to the low recovery. You punish that every day of the week with a down air, especially on a recovery with no hitbox. The up tilt, stuffing out that up smash. Trying to catch again. Syrup getting caught a lot with very few materials throughout this. And Dabuz doing a real good job of winning the material game, but only can do so much. Oh, yeah, we're back.
Yeah, never doubt a light tree. You think there's nope, never.
You're right.
And the power minecart.
I will minecart.
Because it is strong.
It is pretty good, as some would say.
And for the $1 million, I will minecart because it is what? Switching to the Luma there, looking to get back here in neutral. Okay. Yeah, I love how Syrup is now playing more aggressive to get the Luma out of there. I mean, that's the... You asked someone for Luna, Rosalina Luna counterplay. How do you deal with this character? Kill Luma. Get her out of here.
Hit the baby.
I'm not going to repeat that one. Big F smash to catch that Nerf will get up.
All right. Dabuz in firm control of this game, but things can fly by the wayside for Rosalina Luna so quickly. Nice parry, but you're going to get caught in the up tilt back there. Excellent DI in order to survive that. Those FD's blast zones. Oh, yeah, bounced off the wall. Taking a bunch of punishment right now. Syrup holding steady and letting the meaty fair connect. Triple iron blocks as well, getting plenty of time to mine those resources. Luma displacement is going to be huge here in order to keep Syrup from mining too much. Again, Dabuz wants to keep winning the resource war here if he's going to keep trying to play in the mid to long range with Rosalina, but it gets so much tougher anytime diamond tools come into play, and that's exactly what Syrup is trying to flex here.
He's looking for right there.
He's looking for
I know what you are. Looking to get out of the corner there. No pickaxe, like you mentioned. Pressure getting the Luma out of there. Not going to take out Luma just yet, but still putting on some good damage. No pickaxe, like you mentioned. Needs to get literally anything to get back on this crafting table. Will Dabuz step off for just a little bit? Hands not doing enough work. Trying to find anything to get Dabuz off of you right now. Anything to just get some good safe distance here. And you're looking to get back there with the up special. Rolling out of there, trying to get out of the situation. Just punching Luma. Oh my God, taking her lunch money.
Yeah, needed to get Luma out of there so you have some semblance of time in order to confirm off of the crafting table. Syrup is being so greedy, right? Syrup is being absolutely greedy, and he does not get punished for it.
Bro.
He was looking so hard to get a little bit of time to mine with his fists to rebuild his pickaxe. Didn't want to burn the gold resource in order to get the pickaxe and get that back online, and gets rewarded for it with that plat drop into instant charge F smash. Worked out like a charm for Syrup as 3-0 leads Syrup over Dabuz.
I'm going to say something, and you got to follow me here.
Okay. Start from the beginning, and let's see where it goes.
You got to follow me here. I think Dabuz's pressure throughout the entire set and Syrup's lack of materials throughout most of the set made Syrup play better. And here's why, right? The first thing is that most of Dabuz's characters were really good at dealing with the walls. Obviously, the strongest material to get through is the iron, right? So most of the time, most of the walls towards the end of these stocks have been iron. We saw Dabuz actually changing up his game plan, didn't want to face off against those iron walls, which gave Syrup the opportunity to catch Dabuz either getting over aggressive, jumping over the wall, or rolling behind him and finding a conversion off of that. 2, it forced Syrup to play more of the close combat game and forced Syrup to not rely on facing off in the mid-range game, because, you know, like as we mentioned earlier, Dabuz was as comfortable as ever playing that game.
Oh, yeah.
So being able to find those errant up tilts, or finding the pressure on Dabuz, like playing up close and personal, or like having to play up close and personal, because you have no pickaxe, you have nothing to play the mid range at all, and just winning the day. He found those aggressive reads.
Yeah, I guess the biggest problem when it comes to comparing Steve into every single character that Dabuz has to offer, because I do agree that while maybe it didn't make Syrup play like better, it did
force him to adapt.
Yes, absolutely did, and he adapted across.
I wanted to have
all-
a clickbait title. All right, my bad.
Real.
I could have started with that.
Content brand, I get it.
Yes.
But the way that Syrup adapted to one character, adapted to all three, because Dabuz wanted to play his playstyle, his planned out, this should work playstyle, regardless of the character he chose. It was just a different sequence on how Dabuz did it, depending on the character. With Min Min, it was always arm tilt, arm tilt, arm tilt, and up smash whenever you see the roll-in approach or the minecart approach. Play super consistent at the long range.